How good is Legendary Micaiah's Refine? We're going to look at her along with the other Path of Radiance Formas that are available to you, and that is Soren, Lucia, and Geoffrey. I think you're going to have a lot of fun with this, but I want to know in the comments, which one of these units are you looking at playing with? What are you looking forward to the most? Let me know in the comments. It doesn't matter if you're getting the Forma, I just want to know who you are excited to give skills to.
I will do what I must.
This Refine that Micaiah got is very good, and I'm going to read some of this off. So, obviously, we have effective damage against armors and cavalries. We have attack +3. You have +17 attack and res, +16 speed and defense. Why, I ask? Just make it all 17. A guaranteed follow-up, desperation, slaying. We have null debuffs to attack and res. We have a true damage of 20% based on res, and then we have a 50% piercing. When we talk about prescience, the preference skill, you have an chills, sabotage, panic. You have attack speed res -5 in combat. You have 30% DR, and you have null guard. So all of this is very good, and I mean, it's very Micaiah, right? She debuffs and she hits hard. I want to talk about the different ways you can use her, though. And the first one I want to talk about is this ballista build. Now, what we're doing here is we're adding in the Lin Ring, and we're just lobbing magic all the way across the map. The big thing you will notice, though, is that I have taken prescience off. The reason is Freyr exists. And if you're talking about Aether Raid's offense, he's on every season, and he's going to make everything that Prescience 2 does go away. That is something that we can use by putting something else in there, in this case with Occultist Strike, and diversifying your damage is never a bad thing, and that helps with that. The other thing, Rhea is going to start showing up everywhere as well, and so Fatal Smoke 4 is going to help you a ton. But I want to remind you how this unit is used. And obviously, turn 2, you're clumping everyone up with Katria and Emir, who gives out the miracle, and you are breaking their biggest tank, just smacking them upside the head. And honestly, she does very well at that, and we're going to look at that in just a second. But she can really break the back of a defense and can help you pick them apart from there. Now, the arena build, Freyr just isn't there, and cleansing isn't nearly as common, so prescience is going to really come through for you, and you want to be able to keep that. That is also why I have Pulse Up Ploy, which is an incredible C skill, and if you don't have the means to cleanse it, can really come through for you. I will mention that the score of 758 isn't the highest, but if you have this unit merged up, she can really come in and take out a lot of trouble units, which we're going to talk about right now. Let's look at the arena sims, and these are incredible. And the biggest thing I want you to see there is that support, none. This unit is doing this all on her own. Now, we talked about I probably even here would give her the Lin Ring just so I could be able to do this from a distance and not have to worry about it. But man alive, particularly that Marnie matchup. Usually I would expect Miracle to kick in, but Micaiah hits so hard that it doesn't matter. All of these units just absolutely fold to her, and this can be the savior you need in Arena or Arena Assault. You notice that I have this unit at +1 for these sims. That means this unit can really help you not get stuck, because that happens a lot with a lot of folks, especially in Arena Assault. You just get stonewalled by a Marnie who just sits there and laughs at you. I was really pleased with this, and if you are needing help in an Arena Assault or you need an upgrade for your Arena Micaiah, I think this is the way to go. But let's look at air offense, and I want to bring up something here. On Aether Raid's offense, what I'm really looking for her to do is break the back of a defense, that one unit that is stopping you from moving forward, that far savior, and then your reinforcement unit can be Lucia and just absolutely smash things. That is a very valuable role that you can have this unit as both the backbreaker and help in cleanup, and the results really show that out. Neithhoger, Hector, and Nagi are both very stout as far saviors. If you are building an anti-Rhea unit, you really want to focus on that res even more and boost that up as much as you possibly can, because if you out-res Rhea, she folds really quickly, especially when you have Fatal Smoke. Now, one of the things folks are going to look at this and say, but you have an insane amount of support on this unit. Honestly, that's what it takes for any nuke right now. I saw a big Sizo showcase where they were talking about having, well, about this level of support. It's just what you need to break through Shield Fighter and what other shenanigans that each of these units have right now. We are in an arms race, and currently these tanks are doing really, really well. We'll see what they do in the future, but for now, Micaiah can be that unit that on turn 2, Lin rings and just smashes these guys. I do want to point out, one of the things that isn't shown here is whenever the margins are very thin. I think the overkill on Nagi, for instance, was 4. That is not a lot. So you are going to very much have to maximize your Micaiah in order to do this. But the fact is, she can do it, and a lot of units can't right now. That is incredibly valuable, and you can see each of these units has Hathran and Larother support. That is a stout unit to be able to break through. When we're looking at skills, Slymere is honestly my favorite. It is very, very good on her. Bonus Doubler is an option, and I usually like Bonus Doubler for units that need all of their stats boosted up. This unit really needs true damage and attack, and Slymere fits that perfectly. If you are going for more of a supportive build and need to boost up her res, Crystalline Water is there and can be very handy. The B skill, the problem I had with the B skill is most of the available B skills for units like her with high attack, high res, Prescience does better. It is. And so the only other option was Occultist Strike, which I talked about was very good, and possibly a Ruse skill. These are two skills that you can use and have a lot of fun with, but this is another one where if you got stuck with Prescience, I don't think that's a bad thing. So just keep that in mind. B skill is not as important. If I'm prioritizing here, that Slymere is really the thing that I want. Now, as far as C skills, Pulse Up Ploy is incredible, but again, it's more incredible in Arena and Arena Assault as opposed to any mode with cleansing on it. So I just keep that in mind. Fatal Smoke 4 is definitely an option, especially with Rhea, and Rhea is going to be a fixture in a lot of different modes. The thing you really want to look at, this unit has, at this point, still has a bunch of headroom as far as how much damage she does, and that means the C skill is very adaptable. So she's the unit that you could put Breath of Life on, or Firm Kanto Curb Stomp, or even Infantry Null Follow-Up. When you're looking at the difference between Flare and Ruptured Sky, I normally pick Ruptured Sky for Arena, and the reason is it is harder to get cooldown support in that mode. That being said, I didn't see a whole lot of difference between these two. Again, the damage that we're doing with bonuses now just doesn't matter as much as it did in the past. What I will say is if we could get Frost Moon, I think that would be probably the best special you could get on her, but that is probably about 6 weeks away. If you're asking me what I'm getting, I'm really targeting the Arena build. I think this unit is going to be very valuable there, and I'm looking forward to her being able to help me get unstuck with some of these armors that pop up and are just an absolute pain.
Weaker than expected.
Soren has always been an interesting unit simply because of the support he offers. Assigned Decoy is something that you just don't get from any other unit that you'd want to get it from. Like, Larother is obviously a special case there. If we're looking at the tome, though, you get Slaying, you get an Omni +6, you get Assigned Decoy in the tome. That is very important. That's a good thing that they did that. And then the other thing, you get some additional bonuses, and then Dragon Wall. Rare Talent is showing its age, which is interesting. I would have thought an A skill that offers Brave was very good. I did a lot of work with this unit trying to get him to work, and mostly I just took this off. You get an Omni +7, which is nice. You get Disables Adaptive Damage, which I don't really care about. And then based on the res, you get half tempo and, of course, that Brave effect. So, Why am I taking it off? Because Brave doesn't mean anything if you don't have true damage right now. It's 4 tings. I mean, it's not going to get you there. I will say if you could put Frost Moon on this unit, then you could do something different. And when we talk about this nuke build, and I know I'm starting from the wrong order, but this is something where if you could get Frost Moon on that and then get the cooldown down, I think that would be something that could be usable. As is right now, this is more of a fun thing. And I mean, this is a nuke, and if you need a cleanup unit, this unit can definitely help you with that. Most of the time, though, I think you're going to go for the supportive build, and you're just trying to maximize the support that this unit can get you. So, I mean, reposition gate is going to be on every infantry unit from here until they make something better. But Crystalline Water to boost up the res, Speed Res Discord, Firm Kento Curb Stomp, because I still think that is a very good skill and not on enough units. And then just to boost up the res even more, you've got Phantom Res there. With 60 res, you could argue that maybe you could put something different on there, but I kind of like to be safe. Now, what you're looking at there is, well, Asker and Hathrin. Of course, they're holiday versions, but the thing that you're looking at is the old school SD thing where you used to have, the bulkiest infantry mage and melee unit, and you'd have them be your saves. The problem right now is the bulkiest infantry units just aren't cutting it. And so there are a lot of things that can take them out right now. And so they're just not, you need shield fighter in order to survive a lot of different things that are out there. And these 2 units really aren't enough. But there will be more bulky infantry units, I promise you. And when they come out, Soren is going to have a value rise right there. The big thing I want you to pay attention to, because again, this refine, it's in 6 months. It's really not that far away. What you are praying for is something that's not based on attack, but more based in support. Don't forget that the preference weapon doesn't get a remix. They only get a refine for their weapon. I predict that we are just never again going to use that A skill unless they just give us a ton of true damage in Archsage Tome, but I don't think you want that. So keep an eye on that in the future. I do want to go over just what skills I'm looking for. This is very similar to Micaiah because these are very similar units, just Micaiah can actually do damage and Soren has the super unique support. Those are kind of the 2 things there. Sly Mirror and Crystalline Water are the A skills. For B skills, we talked about the nuke build. You can do Resonance, but more than likely you're going to go for one of these others with the Ruse skill, the Sabotage, the Discord skills, or the Link skills even are very valuable. In the C skill, it just depends on what kind of support you need. For the rarity, though, I really like Pulse Up Ploy, but I mean, Breath of Life is incredibly valuable as well, as is Firm Kento Curb Stomp. It depends on what you need. Don't forget, he already comes with Flare, so you're going to be going for Ruptured Sky here. But again, if you are a huge Soren fan, Frost Moon is what you're going to be looking for in the future. Now, if you ask me what exactly I would be going for, I'm really aiming for the future for this unit because right now he doesn't hold as much value, but that'll come back. I promise you there will be a place for Soren in the meta unless some other unit gets assigned decoy. Right now, though, he's the only unit that can do that. And as long as that is the case, he's going to hold value.
Face me if you dare.
Lucia is fascinating. This unit had everything you could possibly want when she came out. She was incredible. And the reason that went away is because specials have lost so much value. Let's go over the weapon real quick. We got attack +3 and Omni +5, true damage equaling 20% of the speed. You have pierceable DR, no follow-up, no counter disrupt, hardy bearing, and the feud effect, as well as stopping AoE specials and ignoring defensive terrain. All of that sounds incredible, but really what this hinges on is stopping a unit from proccing their special. There are so many ways that they have devalued specials right now, which is a weird place to be. For forever in this game, that's the way you kill things. You have specials, and you proc them over and over and over again, and then that's how things die. Now we have the Excel skills, and many like it, that directly affect specials and how much damage they do. So a unit like this that really has a lot of downsides, but the upside was you couldn't get your special off, that means her value has sunken quite a bit. But can you still use her? Now, I've got two builds here that I really wanted to compare, and one is the regular Omni-Tank build, and this is what you have available in the pool right now for Holoforms. You have Gust, Distant Bonus Doubler, Lagoo's Friend 4, Endless Tempest, and Attack Speed Clash 3. So you're looking at that and you're thinking, all right, this is something that's doable. We've got the standard support there for Astra Season, along with, of course, Gatekeeper, because why not? The distant healing still works on him, although the drive attack speed does not. And of course, he does stop warping shenanigans. But over here, we have the max invest for the die-hard Lucia fans. And keep in mind, she already comes with Null Counter Disrupt, which is very necessary. So you're throwing Distant Counter Echo on there, and Lagoo's Loyalty, and Bonus Doubler 4, and all of this comes together and makes not much difference. Honestly, the difference was more in margin than it was in actual kills that you saw more of. And what that really points to is the fact that the units that Lucia is very good at killing, they die quickly, and that's it. The units that she is bad at killing, she is very far from being able to kill. And that puts you in a really awkward spot. It means that she has hard counters, basically. There are units that are going to be out there that just absolutely stop her, and you're not going to be able to use this unit. But the other thing it means is there are going to be teams out there that she is absolutely going to be able to take on. So let's look a little bit at the Sims, and I did this just with the things you could actually get from this Holoforms. But you're seeing right here, I mean, she stops Sigurd because he can't proc his AoE. She stops Lucina, and I know that's not a large margin, but that's still really good. Lynn, that is excellent, and she really makes sure that Lynn just gets smacked. Mainly because she has Hardy Bearing and can hit Lynn back very quickly and keep any shenanigans from happening. But the thing you want to see is that this unit is usable in that regard. What you want to watch out for is the problem with tanking right now is not so much whether you can survive, but whether you can stop all of the shenanigans from happening. The warping, the gale force, the just absolute craziness that Linring brings, and all of that is nuts. You have Unaka right now that has built-in pass and super warp. All of that's crazy, and that's really what you have to deal with more than just, can I survive? And that's why tanking is really frustrating right now. So you can use this unit, you just have to come more prepared for the other things. I mean, right here you're seeing that Sigurd survives. That means after he hits you, he's going to swing around your back line and take out somebody else. These are things that you have to watch out for right now, and it makes it difficult. Let's look a little bit at the Holoform skills. And we talked about this, but there's not a whole lot to choose from, just to be completely honest. You have the bonus doublers, the distant form and the 4 form. And then you have Lagoo's Friend. I do like that a lot better than the Spiked Wall. I am just not a Spiked Wall fan. It's not something that is... I don't think that it's something that works real well for me. So there are folks that absolutely love it. This unit in particular, I don't think has the bulk she really needs Lagoo's Friend for. And that is even including the fact that she doesn't get as much use out of it just because her defenses are fairly low. It still helps her survive more than Spiked Wall does. As far as the C skill, Endless Tempest is way better than people give it credit for. Just the additional stats as well as the positioning and the dull all effect is incredible. Insight is always there, and you do have Breath of Life. It does work pretty well if it's on this unit. Gust and Godlike are the two specials you'll most likely be looking at. Understand that Gust is definitely the better of the two though, and if you can help it, that's the one you want to get. Now, what would I pick? So, I'm throwing you a complete curveball here, and listen. If you are picking up Lucia's Forma, then you are most likely a die-hard fan. And so, honestly, this is the build you should be aiming for. She doesn't have a preference skill, so she can run an attune skill, throw that distant counter echo on there. This is going to make things easier for you. And I know you're not going to get as much out of this Forma, but you can still get Endless Tempest, Bonus Doubler 4, and Gust. So, if you're a diehard fan, go get your girl.
Prepare yourself for justice.
The problem with Geoffrey is he's like 6 weeks too early. There's some really good skills that are coming out that I would want to put on this unit that are just not there. Assault Force and Haze Slice are a fantastic combo, and yeah, it is unfortunate. This does happen from time to time, and you're not going to get as good of a build on this unit. But I do have some suggestions. Let's quickly go over Queen's Lance. You have Slaying. You got if a bonus is active, you got Canto remaining +1, which is going to be pretty easy on this unit. You get bonuses to stats, kind of like Bonus Doubler, but then you also get damage reduction and follow-up negation, which is honestly better than people think it is right now. The two builds that you have here are an AoE nuke, which, I mean, we just talked about this, but this is always an option. And honestly, I mean, 84 attack is pretty good. This unit can kind of bring it. So especially if you give him bonuses, which you'll want to do since he does have bonus doubler. I have Fatal Smoke in the C skill, but we're going to talk about it. But inside attack speed would give him a lot of benefit. So, but the big thing there is momentum, and I think that is what you're going to be zeroing in on. Mostly for this build, as long as you get momentum, I think you can come up with something that's a lot of fun. The other one is just a pure melee nuke, and that's Potent. When I've looked at this, I mean, you are getting 3 hits, and I mean, they are degraded, but you've got true damage coming off from each one of those. And I've got Shadow Shift on there. Really, you're going to want to focus on damage, but Shadow Shift is a lot of fun. So just make sure that if you have Shadow Shift on there, that his Canto has to be active, because if you don't have Canto, Shadow Shift just doesn't do anything. Let's look at the skills though, and I've got these two builds here. We talked about it, but Verge of Death is very good. Slime Mirror is probably the other thing I'd look at, but Attack Speed Excel is also very good, and if you wanted to have some fun, Fortifications is an option. I don't know on this unit that that's the way you're going to go, but it's fun. The two base skills, Momentum and Potent 4, are really what I think you're going to want to be focusing in on. They are the harder to get, and they take a lot of inheritance to get on there. Shadow Shift is another one of those that, since it takes 4 inheritance slots, if you are building this unit in the long run, I think that is a better option. There are a lot of units that have inside attack speed, and you can get pity broken by them and then put those on a unit. But Fatal Smoke 4, I don't know that he has the oomph to take on miracle units anyway, but it is a possibility. And also keep in mind, even Speed Wave does give null follow-up. We talked about it. No Quarter is for now what you're going to be looking at, but obviously Haze Slice, you wish it was available here. If I was building this unit, it'd be Momentum 4. I think this unit is more valuable as an AoE unit as probably anything else. It's probably a good idea. You probably have Quicken Pulse on here, and then the Marth Ring as well. So keep that in mind. Anything you can do to make it easier to get Blazing Flame. But I do like if you can get that cooldown some other way. Life and Death is a lot of fun, and AoE builds are still fun. They just are. All right, I wanted to give you a glimpse of what's coming in the future. Keep in mind that we've had a lot of last-minute changes lately that IS has been doing. So everything in the red there is just speculation, and it's very hard to predict right now. Obviously, for the sure thing, we have Micaiah right now. In March, though, Naga in particular, because she's a mythic and can get Barricade, can help you a ton. Barricade is very, very valuable right now on a mythic because then you can outsource it, and dragon effectiveness is just not what it used to be. So that is an option there. If we do have Legendary Robin, and honestly, I don't think he's too new, like that might be an option. I think that would be a lot of fun. It might be a little bit too early for him though, so we'll see how that goes. Everyone's waiting for May though, and Claude, Edelgard, and Byleth together as possible options. That would be a lot of fun. So keep your eye out for that one. But the other one I want you to pay attention to is July. I think May would be the fun one. I think July, depending on what they give us, could be the most useful though, particularly if they actually put Dagger or Thor on there. Both of those are still very good units to this day, and honestly, I think they would be incredibly valuable Formas. But remember, that's a ways off, and we don't know for sure yet. We'll see what the future brings, but I wanted to show you possibilities so that you could budget properly. We talked about it, but I have an entire episode on how you want to deal damage right now, which was very helpful for me to put together. I hope it can be helpful for you guys. Members, you are amazing. Thank you for all that you do. Take care and schedule an appointment with your FEHologist real soon.